was with the boyfriend, and luckily he had a roll cage in his car, and we rolled the car 4 times and landed on the roof. I think if I hadn't had the roll cage, I wouldn't be sitting here and talking to you right now. And so then I had a cervical collar on, I think that's what they call it, the collar, for a month. And then I did nothing. Then I was young, I was in my early 20s, and I just figured it would heal itself, which it didn't.
And the body can heal, but we just have to put it in the right environment to do so.
So now here I am in my 60s, and I'm feeling like now is the time to take control of my body again and feel as good as I can be. It's interesting because I used to be a big horse rider. I rode many horses and trained horses, and I found that my range of motion wasn't as good as it should be. And then of course I fell off a couple of times, which also didn't help things. I think, Garrett, you said I had a fracture at the base of my spine, which I really didn't know anything about.
Yep, an old fracture.
Old fracture.
Right, it's called the thoracolumbar junction, so it's where the thoracic spine meets the lumbar spine. So there's an old compression fracture.
And then I went about my way, doing my thing. I happened to be a DJ when I was in my early 20s, and was traveling the world and dancing and not feeling any pain. I'm in constant pain from, not pain where it was sort of agonizing, but enough that, I can't turn my head very well, and so that's where we're at now, is to try to fix it.
Yeah, so we've got some limited range of motion when turning right and left, a little bit more on the right side, correct, Joan?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on this side that when I had the whiplash, that all of this here was affected. So.
So yeah, a lot of the tightness is coming in from the right side, and it affects some of your shoulder as well. Gotcha. Let's go face down, Joan. We're gonna get right in through here into your neck, working this upper attachment.
As long as I don't lose
one of
my
the
contact.
favorite ones to get over with.
To get it over with, yes. I just lived with it, and then I realized just how bad my range of motion was when I drive to work. I drive on canyon roads because my office is in Malibu, and I realized that when I came to the stop, I couldn't turn my head left to look for traffic. I had to turn my whole body. So then I realized just how bad it was, and I'd mentioned to my sons, that I needed to get something, to have some kind of course of treatment, and then my son Chris was like, well, Dr. Garrett's the man. And so here I am.
Here we are. We're getting Joan moving. Dr. Ben's doing a lot of exercises with her. We're doing a lot of muscle work. We're doing adjustments. How was traction last time?
It felt interesting.
Right?
Yes. I wasn't quite sure what to expect.
We'll biomechanically sound for our body so we can increase our range of motion through our neck and through our shoulders. Today we have Joan, who's one of our new practice members. Every time she rotates her head to the right, she has very painful, sharp shooting pain down into her hands and to her fingertips. I discovered that there's severe degeneration within her neck. She has something called osteophytic activity. Her spine has been out of alignment for some time, and so gradually over time, her body has remodeled and it started to fuse together. You said sleep has been, you almost slept through the whole night yesterday?
Yes, I did.
Amazing.
So it's like years since I've had a full night's sleep. Literally years. So you're doing something right.
We're doing something here.
Oh.
All the painful pushing that we're doing now is paying off. So she actually has something what's called an acquired block vertebra at her C6, C7. That is the lower part of the neck. All the way down. I'm going to extend your head back just gently. Take a big breath in for me. And out. we're always constantly under reconstruction every single day within our life. Whether it's good reconstruction or poor reconstruction, that's really based off of our lifestyle and our alignment. The formation of new bone material, bone actually will remodel due to stress placed upon it.
Yesterday, and I did very gentle neck raises, like I looked at the sky and I looked at the ground, and then I looked left a little, I looked right a little, and before I knew it, I was back home.
There you go. For our discs that separate each vertebra, they have no vascular supply. So the only way we can get nutrients and hydrate our discs is through motion. So as we move our body, it's going to lubricate those discs, keeping them nice and hydrated so they don't wear out and degenerate.
So that's something I'm going to do, because I try to walk every day, at least a mile, probably 2. So I'll probably just continue to do that then, if that's something you recommend.
Highly recommend.
Okay.
And it's always so good to get outside, get into the sun, get some vitamin D in you.
Exactly. I think the low impact work for me too is better than, say, trying to run. I think just fast, I walk pretty fast.
Yeah.
So that seems to work well for me. My kids are like, Mom, we can't keep up with you. Chris always tells me I'm walking too fast.
Like, slow down, Mom.
You should ask him. He's like, you're walking so fast. I'm like, that's my pace.
Once a DJ, always a DJ.
I was in Singapore, I was in Bali, I was in Sardinia. I'm actually in the James Bond movie, The Spy Who Loves Me, as an extra.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. I was on the beach there. They took over the club where I was DJing and used it for a couple of the scenes with Roger Moore. So I said to it was an English crew, and I said, well, at least get me in the film. And they're like, well, you can be on the beach in the group scene, but you can't do anything because you're not SAG. So there I am, sitting on a rock.
That is so cool. I'm going to have to watch that and look for you.
Oh, yeah. 1979 that was.
That's amazing.
I was 24.
Were you really?
Yeah.
24 and traveling the world DJ.
Yeah.
Running is good to some extent, but not everyone could be in this cookie cutter shape with everyone needs to go run a mile, everyone needs to go do 100 push-ups a day or whatever it might be. For you, walking a nice brisk walk at a good speed is perfect for you. It's easier on the joints.
Good.
You're challenging your cardiovascular system, and the big thing is that you're getting outside and moving.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
We should all be getting outside minimally 15 minutes a day.
This weather is just so beautiful now too.
We're so blessed to be living in Southern California.
Oh.
There are some of the spots I want to get into, so I'm going to work right in through here into your mid-back where your mid-trap attaches onto your spine here. Just activate this muscle pressure, okay, Joan?
It's marginally. Yes, it's fine.
It's bearable.
It's
we
bearable.
can work through it.
Yes, we can.
Good. Always breathe. Breathing gets our mind away from the pain. When we have misalignments within the lower part of the neck, we tend to see a lot of shoulder issues. Joan also came in secondary to her neck is right shoulder pain with numbness going down into her fingertips. We see this a lot because the nerves that come out of the lower part of the neck form a bundle of nerves or a plexus of nerves called the brachial plexus. The brachial plexus will give sensory input and locomotion to the whole arm all the way down into the fingertips. I'm using the activator. This is a spring-loaded instrument that is actually used to adjust the spine. So it's simulating a manual adjustment where it's sending force into the vertebra to adjust the body. I'm using the activator with Joan due to a lot of spinal degeneration.
Feels good. Thank you.
Awesome. Let me know if it's too much, all right?
I will.
So I know if I am to do a big ol' adjustment like a lot of people have seen on chiropractic videos, this would not be beneficial for Joan's body due to all the inflammation, the scar tissue, the adhesions that are holding and blocking her spine together. So I have to really get in there, warm up her muscles through exercise, through muscle rehab.
That felt great.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so
And then use a light force form of adjusting the body so she's not walking out of here in pain and feeling very sore after the adjustment. We always like to start off easy, and then we can always add more going into deeper adjustments as we start to unwind the body and loosen up and break through some of the scar tissue. Perfect, Joan. Excellent.
That feels even easier than it did like when I came on Tuesday. It feels much more, what's the word, elastic.
It does.
It doesn't feel, it feels like not so tight.
I was going to say the same thing. When you came in on Tuesday, I felt like I was doing muscle work on a rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot more pliable now, and I'm able to get into like the next deeper layer. So we're just working through layers, slowly unwinding the body after all these years. So with Joan, she has an acquired blocked vertebra that is placing pressure on those nerves, and she's having less sensation and less motor function within her arm and her shoulder. So it's very important that we keep her spine in alignment through the adjustment, and we remodel her spine through traction, as well as doing a lot of muscle rehab to break up some of the scar tissue and get the muscles to activate the ones that need to be activated.
Feels really good.
The muscle rehab in the neck is really important, especially for Joan, so we can loosen up some of her muscles, so we can increase range of motion within her neck, break up some scar tissue and adhesions that have been there for some time, and prevent them from further coming back in the future. Go back a little bit further here.
Yes.
Like that's the normal range of motion that you want to have your arm at.
Okay.
But as we go up higher, it's not going to go back as far. We're testing all of these muscles, and we find weak muscles. There are tiny, small, little micro tears where the muscle is really the tendon that attaches muscles to bone. So there's tiny little micro tears on the tendon. We can still use the muscle, but it starts to fatigue. Let me help you up here, Joan. And when that muscle starts to fatigue, it gets disengaged. We're very functional beings, and our body's highly intelligent. We're going to recruit other muscles to take place of our muscle that is fatiguing and is being inhibited. So those muscles that are taking over are performing an action that they're not used to, and that their biomechanically is insufficient for the body. So it's causing tightness within the body. So a lot of people are like, oh, I'm so tight, I have tight traps, I have a tight neck or a tight low back. We are having muscles that are overworking, performing an action that is not really meant to be doing.
Wow.
Back center.
I can feel the difference.
That is huge.
That's crazy.
I was wondering, I'm like, when is she going to stop? We're keep
Yeah,
on going
it's
over
like,
here.
wow. I mean, I could see that wall almost, that like before I was
Yes.
looking over here. Now I can see to about here.
And then always kind of keep track of those markers,
Right.
because we're going to get you moving like an owl.
Okay.
Come on over this way, Joan. You did really good today.
Yeah.